Morning, Wolfpack. Miss Gillum here to go through your course request sheet. So this is this year's course request sheet. Your teachers should have a packet with all your stuff in it. So teachers, if you haven't handed out the packets yet, please do that. Also, I think sophomores and juniors, when your packet printed, there was a page or a line that got kind of lost when it shifted. So your teacher has some instructions for you to write that down to make sure you have everything on there. This is, I'm going to guess, about like 10-12 minutes. So you have time. Make sure you have your packets. And I'm just going to kind of go through some of the new courses on there, a few people to talk to that I wanted to make note for because we have a few new classes that we haven't offered before and that we're piloting this year. So just if you have questions and want to know more, you can go talk to those teachers. So here we go. I'm going to dive right in. Oh, I made a new Bitmoji you guys get to see at the end. Okay, first, safety tips reminder. First, make sure you have your packet out, a writing utensil in case you have questions or want to make a note or ask more questions. You can write on there. The biggest thing is just that we need to know what your course requests are. The second thing I want you to remember, we have a student-driven schedule. That means the selections that you make right now determine what courses we're going to offer. They determine how many sections of courses we're going to offer. So if you were just trying to change your schedule with your counselor and you were frustrated because there wasn't more space in whatever class it was, we make those determinations between now and the end of the year based on your course requests. So I just want you to remember that it is really important that you take your time, make sure you pick the right courses for you, and mark them on your sheet. Second, talk to your current teachers. Especially in your core areas, you want to make sure that you're getting recommended and they'll sign and signature which course they're going to recommend you to move into next. So make sure you're talking to your core teachers. We're giving you until February 5th to make sure that you have enough class time to go through your course requests with them. And lastly, make the best choice for you. So I know it can be tempting to figure out what your best friend is taking or you know, what other people are taking, but I really want to encourage you that we have a lot of courses to offer here, and I want you to make what the best choice for you in your future is going to be, because that's what we want to get you ready for. So in your packet, you should have a copy of your transcript that shows all the classes that you've passed and taken so far since you've been here, so you know what you've taken in the past. You should have your course request sheet for West Valley, e-learning information if you're interested in taking an e-learning classes on there, and then also the part-time Hutch courses are on there. And I did include a little shuttle because I know we've had questions about the shuttle schedule. So I have this year's shuttle schedule on there so you know going back and forth what that looks like. So there's lots of different classes on there. So we'll go right to page 1 and core courses. So here we go. Starting at the top with English. English 9 and English 10 are required. You do have to take 4 years of English in your time here. But there's, one other required course after those 2 courses, and then you can talk to your English teacher about the best course recommendation for you. So you can ask lots of questions. A few new ones on there. Advanced composition we have to be offered second semester for seniors next year, and we're hoping it'll be dual credited with UAF, so you could actually get English 111 credit with it. Other classes are coming back: speech and debate, which we call speaking and listening, contemporary writers and social topics, sports lit. Miss Moore is looking to offer a class called Ethical Dilemmas next year that's going to talk about kind of ethics and how we deal with that in an introductory way. Movies and media is a new class that Mr. Schaefer is looking at offering with a blend of how do movies and media and interrelate, and he could tell you lots more about that. Next is global studies. You have to take 3.5 years of that. So everyone except for freshmen should be in a global studies class right now. So take a look here. There are classes you do have to take: world history, U.S. history, a government course of some type, an economics course, but there are some different options there. So freshmen looking at sophomore year, you have to take a year of world history, but there's some flexibility. If you are really interested in current global issues, you could take World History 1 first semester and then take Global Issues second semester. If you're interested in either geography or comparative religions, you could take one of those classes first semester and then take World History 2 second semester. All the global studies teachers and counselors know all about the options there, so be sure to ask them questions. Also back on there, you can just take comparative religions as an elective, and then also global diplomacy and Model UN. Ms. DeMario has been teaching that class for the last 2 years, so you can talk to her if you have any questions about that. Next is math. Again, make sure you talk to your current teacher, or if you had a different teacher first semester, maybe you want to go back to first semester to talk to that teacher to get a good recommendation for what math course is the next sequence for you. You have to take math for 3 years while you're here, so just seeing what options you have there. There is also math for healthcare that's on the Hutch course request. Next is science. You'd have to take 3 years of science too, so talk to your current science teacher. There are some different prerequisites and courses there, so they might be able to lead you in the best direction if they look at your transcript and kind of what interests you in terms of after high school. You know, there's lots of a wide variety of choices of classes there, so there's things that might appeal to everybody, I would think. So, and then the last thing on this page, there's a footer that gives you like a key to what, there's some little notations in there. So if you're looking at what does that little C in a circle mean, or bold means that it has a prerequisite and course fees. So that's on the back there. If you flip your paper over, on page 2 are all of our elective courses. So I'm going to go through and try to give you some people to talk to, of course, if you have questions about different courses. So art is right up at the top. And it also makes sure it tells you right there that you're numbering your top 6 choices for electives. So even though you may only have space for 2 electives in your schedule, we want to know your top 6 choices so that if for some reason your schedule doesn't jive with one of your top choices, your counselor can look at what your next choice was and try to get you scheduled into one of those classes. Ms. Hagland and Ms. Hansen could answer all your questions about all these different classes. There's lots of different levels of courses in here, and they, if you're in our classes now, they do a great job of blending them together to meet different students' needs in there. So there's art. And then CTE, Career Tech Education, is where the bulk of our electives probably fall in kind of different pathways. Mr. Merritt primarily teaches the arts and audiovisual pathway, so if you have any questions there about digital photo or video production or other options. Ms. Coelho teaches in our hospitality and tourism, which we mostly just have the culinary arts program, so she could answer any questions that you might have about those. We have added a couple classes to our health science and our STEM pathway, so I'm going to focus on those a little bit in case you have questions. So Ms. Sawchuk is teaching most of our health science classes. We've offered the introductory class there is Intro to Healthcare Occupations, but then this year we've also added here at West Valley First Aid and CPR, which gets you both a First Aid and CPR certification as well as an OSHA certification. And then this year we're also offering for the first time Human Behavior in Healthcare too. She's teaching that class right now. And there's additional courses available for part-time students at Hutch, so if you look at that piece, if you're an upperclassman and interested, there's lots of options there too. The next one is our STEM pathway, our science, technology, engineering, and math. Mr. Skur has been working on trying to provide increasing options for students as they move through that pathway. So he's been offering Autodesk Inventor for the past couple years, and next year he's looking at offering the next level of that in 2A and 2B, the engineering design program. For our computer science classes, he added in an independent study or independent research in computer program in class 2, so he could help answer any questions you have there. Creative coding is a really introductory level computer coding class that Mrs. Sawchuk teaches in room 113 again. There's no prerequisite. It's just kind of a basic introduction that anybody could do. And then computer applications, Ms. Ashlock has been teaching that class for us this year. It's a really project-based class of kind of learning how to navigate some of the basic, you know, commonly used computer applications that you may experience. Over on the right-hand side, there's a lot of different classes. That's where student aids and excuse periods are if you're seniors. If you're working outside of school, you can get credit just for that working time. We've offered in kind of off and on high school internship options with both, I believe, the borough, the city, and the school district. Ms. Galloway teaches Innovation and Inquiry, which is a new kind of project and design, I don't know exactly how to describe it, but Ms. Galloway could explain it to you, class that we're offering this semester. And then also Ms. Powell is offering mediation this semester too, so for the first time we've offered that class. And then of course at the very top, Marine Corps JROTC, Mr. Hessner can answer any questions if you have about starting in that program or continuing in that program, and options and opportunities it could open up for you. And we are also offering a 7th period, just like we offer 7th period e-learning after the day drill and ceremony class again next year too. Next on the list is music. There's options here if you've been playing an instrument for a long time or if you're looking to just start. So Mr. Cluton and Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams is only here in the morning, but they could answer any questions that you have about options there or classes available to you, whether you are a veteran music person or if you're just looking for trying something new. Next is physical health and education. So those are the same classes we had last year of options for you. You do have to take 1.5 credits of physical education while you're here. So Mr. Grage, Mr. Nikolai, Miss Oates, or Mr. Sacha could answer any questions that you have on what those classes might offer for you or focus on. Next is world languages. Here we offer Chinese, French, Japanese, and Spanish. Japanese is kind of a special option that's through UAF, so you actually are dual enrolled with Miss Nagaoka in a class here and at UAF. You do have to pay the tuition and then you get the dual credit there. And then Chinese, French, and Spanish are all here with Miss Hickman, Miss Barron, and Miss Wong, and you can answer, or they can ask, and they can answer any questions you could ask about continuing on, reasons to start a language, how it's so beneficial for you going forward. Okay, next steps. Here we go. Step 1. Talk to your teachers. Ask questions. Make sure you get your core recommendations from all of your core teachers. Ask your counselor questions if you are wondering about different things, and certainly electives or core courses, you can either find the teacher I tried to reference or find me and I'll help you find that teacher to ask questions. We want to make sure that you get the best set of classes for you, so we're here to answer any questions that you have. Step 2, complete your entire form. Please don't turn in a partial form. Sometimes we have to enter them before your counselor's been able to meet with you, so we want to know your whole form in its entirety. And that brings me to the last one. Don't forget and don't lose your form, please. Keep it safe. Put it in a very safe place, not your back pocket. A folder, if you have a folder, a notebook, somewhere safe so that you have it for the next few days to get completed. And then you're going to bring your whole completed packet. Your teacher's going to send you back, if you don't bring it to class, back to your SSP teacher on February 5th so they can put them all back together for us. So that's it. I missed you guys. I'll be out at lunch today. If you have questions, please don't ever hesitate to ask any questions that you might have. And that's it. So if you have any other questions, you can ask your SSP teacher right now. Otherwise, we'll see you through the end of the day. Have a great day.